Early this morning, Donald Trump announced that he is going to be arrested on Tuesday. It's Saturday right now. It's my day off, but when Trump announces that he's going to be arrested, I got to talk about this. So I'm going to show you his announcement, give you more context, and the clip from Fox News that I think sparked this whole, I was going to say tweet storm, but truth storm on Truth Social. So let's start with his announcement here, or his truth. He says, now illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime and whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being able to be proven and based on old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back. Okay, I'm going to get to more. And it's important to note here, Michael Cohen, his former lawyer, already went to jail for this crime. So it's not like, oh, why is Trump being targeted? Michael Cohen already went to jail for these. So it's around the payments to Stormy Daniels. He went to jail for doing that. Why shouldn't Trump, who's the one that actually did the affair and directed Michael Cohen to do the payments, why shouldn't Trump face repercussions for doing that? But let's get to the Fox News clip that appears to be motivating at least part of this announcement from Trump.
We are learning that the Manhattan DA's office has asked for a meeting with law enforcement ahead of a potential Trump indictment. This is coming to Fox News from a source in the courts. The meeting, which was requested yesterday and has not been set yet, is to discuss logistics for sometime next week, which would mean that they are anticipating an indictment next week. The same source who's familiar with the planning said they will go over security preparations in and around the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Secret Service will take the lead in what they will allow or will not allow. The source cautioned, mentioning, for instance, that the decision to handcuff the president, a former president, or not, they will set the tone and will escort him into the courtroom. There will be coordination between all of us, the source said, but we will defer to the Secret Service. The battle will be between Secret Service and DA Alvin Bragg. They will decide how and when he'll get into the building, and they are not going to leave him. The source believes that the former president will still have to be fingerprinted and processed like every other defendant. So this is a huge development if Alvin Bragg has decided to go ahead with a felony indictment of the former president. This was a charge that the federal officials refused to prosecute on or even really pursue. This was a misdemeanor in New York that Alvin Bragg has decided to elevate to a felony, while at the same time downgrading other felonies to misdemeanors.
All right. So this is apparently, according to Trump's lawyers, his whole truth there was based on a media report or media reports around this, yet it's unclear where he got Tuesday from. So it's possible, in fact, likely that Trump knows more than what is being told in the media, and maybe it is Tuesday, or maybe it isn't, because it's not really clear that this is actually going to happen next week. So District Attorney Alvin Bragg is thought to be eyeing charges in the hush money investigation and recently offered Trump a chance to testify before the grand jury. Local law enforcement officials are bracing for the public safety ramifications of an unprecedented prosecution of a former American president. But there has been no announcement of any time frame for the grand jury's secret work in the case. At least one additional witness is expected to testify, further indicating that no vote to indict has yet been taken, according to a person familiar with the investigation who was not authorized to publicly discuss the case and spoke on condition of anonymity. So it may not actually happen, but Trump seems to think it's going to happen on Tuesday. And just to be clear on the Cohen stuff. So again, Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, back in August 2018, pleads guilty to 8 charges of tax evasion, fraud, and campaign finance violations, which is what Trump is facing, in connection to his payments to Daniels and McDougal, which the Department of Justice called an attempt to influence the 2016 presidential election. So these count as campaign finance violations because this news could have impacted the election had it come out. So that's Michael Cohen went to jail for this, at least partially for this. For Trump up to this point to not have faced jail time or anything, when he's the person at the center of this story, is crazy. So that there may finally be, Trump in handcuffs, which is only going to happen if he refuses to give himself up. Then that makes total sense considering what's already happened to Michael Cohen. So on that, the campaign finance charges came after he helped arrange payouts during the 2016 presidential race to keep the adult actress Stormy Daniels and model Karen McDougal from making public claims of extramarital affairs with Trump. Trump has denied the affairs. Yet again, Cohen went to jail for this. Now, I got to show. So there's another truth here from Trump, but I got to sandwich it between these two Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets because this is just wonderful. So at 12:11 p.m. today, March 18th, she tweets out, "We don't need to protest. We don't need to protest about the communist Democrats planning to arrest President Trump and the political weaponization of our government and election interference. These idiots are sealing their own fate in 2024 because the silent majority has two feelings right now about the current regime: fear and anger. That is the most powerful combination when election time comes, and the Democrats are driving that force with their own corrupt actions." Okay. Point being, here she says at 12:11, we don't need to protest about the plan to arrest Trump. About 20 minutes later, 12:29, Trump tweets this out. "It's time. We are a nation in steep decline, being lied into World War III by a crooked politician who doesn't even know he's alive, but who is surrounded by evil and sinister people who, based on their actions, are defunding the police, destroying our military, open borders, no voter ID, inflation, raising taxes, and much more, can only hate our now failing USA. We just can't allow this anymore. They're killing our nation as we sit back and watch. We must save America. Protest, protest, protest." So he makes the point again, which he did initially, to be fair, that you should protest. But he makes this point again. It's time to protest. So after this went out, Taylor Greene appeared to change her tune. Maybe didn't notice that Trump called for protest initially. But here she is a few hours later saying, "This is exactly why every single Republican should go scorched earth. And anyone that thinks it stops with President Trump and thinks they won't go after them is fooling themselves." So maybe she's not referring to protest here. Maybe she's talking about politicians. But it doesn't sound like it. She's saying, go scorched earth after Trump said to protest, even though she said earlier that we don't need to protest. It really just sounds like she's getting behind Trump here because she knows where her bread is buttered. Last couple things. Trump's aides and legal team have been preparing the possibility of an indictment. Should that happen, he would be arrested only if he refused to surrender. Trump's lawyers have previously said he would follow normal procedure, meaning he would likely agree to surrender at a New York Police Department precinct or directly to Bragg's office. And of course, Trump, in addition to the hush money inquiry in New York, he faces separate criminal investigations in Atlanta and Washington over his efforts to undo the results of the 2020 election. In addition to the investigation into Trump's possession of classified documents, which may also lead to, other charges. But that's the state of things right now. Will he be arrested on Tuesday? He thinks he will be. We're going to have to see.